Here comes Sensikoski down the inside at Melbourne Hairpin. He goes to get second place back. Does he or no? Oh, and there's contact between the two of them. They both go off and Hockley's in the wall. Hockley with damage to the front end of his car. He'd got ahead of Sensikoski early around the lap. Sensikoski fought back. Rich Hockley. Hockley gets the cut back on the inside on the way out. And it's more or less side-to-side contact between the two of them, which wasn't enough room for both of those cars to make it safely up the straight towards Gollard's. And Hockley was picked from Silver End in Essex, 19 years of age, motor mechanic. Oh, and Philip Wright there has got a long way off the circuit. He rejoins, having lost a couple of positions as a result of all of that. Outside of the smart car, but there'll be another car to deal with very shortly. Meanwhile, someone's had a spin just up ahead as well. Oh, and they go either side of him. That, I think, is the number 76 car of Daniel Joyner that's had a moment. Now he needs to rejoin when he can find a gap. It was a great start by number 12, which was Mark Anderson, but he went sideways, and Nick Chatburn from row 3 of the grill has gone off through the gravel, so he's going to be right at the back start of this race. Problems yesterday, ruling them out. Here's Ben Ward. This is a replay of what happened here. Coming up towards Druids. Oh, and yes, off onto the grass, into the barriers. That's what caused him to pull off then. So, Blue Bee Solutions backed car is out of the race, I'm afraid. All today is done. He finished 19th. He's number 19, Martin Foudry. Oh, what a spinner. And it's Matt Rosier, isn't it? Matt Rosier from third position, in actual fact, has gone round. He's gone into the gravel as well. I don't think he'll get out of there. Now, that car not too far away from the edge of the circuit in the 6th position. Oh, and Rosier gets sideways. He's on the grass, and surely he's going to lose a place there. Yes. Oh, through on the inside goes Martin Kaiser. Not without a bit of bodywork being exchanged, though. It is the Tim Evans car. Someone going off a little bit further back. One or two cars going off onto the grass a bit further down the order. Hopefully they'll all get that sorted out. The car is fully ahead of Tom Bell now. Oh, and a moment there for several cars in actual fact. The one that spun first was the number 99 Gavin Johnson Ford Fiesta XR2i, I think. But now they're all off. Rupert Hines spinning around in his Fiesta. I think that's Michael Williamson has just been reversed into by his relative Derek Rosier. Now that sort of looked like there might be some fluid down on the circuit, but they've all got going again, I think. The 7 car of Derek Rosier just ahead on track. Oh, there's a moment, and contact. 2 cars involved. Mark Webster is one of those in number 35. The other is number 91, which is Chris Jones, and that's just on the egg. Make their way down towards Dean Hairpin for the first time in this 13-minute plus 1 lap race. There is the number 28 car of Shane Deegan. Oh, and he's got a bit of a push there from Tom Bell, who locked up. Oh, and now Carl Swift almost collides with Shane Deegan, number 28 as well. I think he just about managed to come to a stop. All of the cars bar one on the grid today. Citroen Saxos, there's a little bit of a nerve there as locking up with Stephen Laidlaw. Both of them able to continue. Fletcher, though, that has the lead, but trying to go around the outside of Miss Fincham, and he goes too deep. He bounces over the grass. A misjudgment there from Matt Fincham, and he's going to go bouncing down the order. They go down into Vale for the first time of asking. Oh, and there's contact. That's, I think, Chatburn, and was that Craig Shaw as well? I think it might have been. It has got tangled up. Or no, it's the number 98 corner, and Garley has gone up into second place. Number 69 there is Ronnie Amos in the Nano Drive car, and Andrew Hoff, who's our pole position man, has spun. Oh, bit of misfortune there. Hoff would have been hoping to capitalise on that pole position to give himself a good result here. He's yet to finish on the podium this season. He could have become got the move done before they even arrive at the right-hander at the link. Oh, into the gravel. Who's that? Wait for the dust to clear. It's number 7. And that's Craig Shaw. And he is very much definitely out of the race. And Fincham's got Martin Ward right behind him as well, but a very sideways moment there for Matt Digby. He's just about managed to control that. Fincham 7th yesterday. 5th yesterday was Ed Peed. Oh, as off goes the car off Martin Ward at McLean's corner, and he's into the gravel, I'm afraid. And he'll struggle to get out of there. And challenging Humphries for the lead of the race. Oh, what a problem in the background there, and that is Matt Digby. Look, he's on the side now. The car's landed on its side and he's lost a wheel, and I think there must have been a loose wheel, so maybe Digby knew something was wrong and eased off, and that wheel has parted company with the car now, and it's pitched him into, well, I wouldn't call it a roll, but he's ended up in a rather awkward position. Now the marshals are on the scene. Matt's okay, he's trying to climb out of the passenger door there, which has become the sunroof, and yeah, elegantly done there by Matt, but frustration for him because he's showed tremendous pace during the course of this race. So Matt Digby trudging through the gravel trap, through shot, and there's a replay of what happened to Matt Digby. It was difficult to see there, really. We didn't see the build up to that. Here's another angle from the chicane, and yes, again, by the time the car arrived in shot, the wheel was already going to Redgate Corner for the first time then. Do they all make it through? No. Andrew Lightstead spins, and they all manage to avoid him. I think they just about do. Lightstead in the end, ending up on the outside of the circuit at Hollywood, but that was reminiscent of the scene on the first lap of yesterday's race when, and at the moment we've got Pip Hammond leading. There's a bit of contact there between Lee Scott, was that, and the 47 car of Gordon McMillan. Imran Khan has got involved in that, so too has Ryan Lowry. It's McMillan that spins around, and Cooper just avoids him, but not everyone was so fortunate. Oh, and bang, that's the Gary Campbell car that just effectively sideswipes the stationary, or near stationary, number 11 machine of Ryan Lowry that limped straight into retirement there, but Campbell's car took quite a big hit, and it's stationary in the middle of the circuit. You can see glass and debris scattered across the circuit, and no surprise at all to see the red flags come out there. Let's have a look on board with Imran Khan then. So it was Lee Scott and Gordon McMillan who was contending for second in the championship, going side by side into McLean's corner. And there was just a slight tag that turned McMillan around. He tried to control it, but then Khan weighed in, a big hit into the driver's door. McMillan's car pirouetted. Meanwhile, there was more shenanigans going on behind, which Imran had a quick look at in his mirror, but he did survive that, but not for much further, and he just parks upon the grass there. Damage to his car, ending his season in the Demons Week's Yokohama Classic Stock Cats Championship. This was the view from Paul Thorpe making his return to the series this weekend in a different car, and you can see already up ahead of him we've got McMillan out of control, and by this point already the Campbell-Lowry contact had been made. Thorpe taking to the grass to avoid all of that incident, and Imran's car off on the side of the circuit as well. There is Khan, he's made his way back into the pit lane. Andrew Lightstead, that's a spin for Ben Ward, but also going off there is the number 7 car, the Fiesta XR2i of Derek Rosier, but they both get going again, pointing in the right direction. At McLean's corner, the leaders go through, and there's contact, and off goes Toby Byrne, and off goes Lee Deegan as well, into the gravel, out of the other side. I think he's going to rejoin the circuit, but not before he's lost with the number 9 machine of Steve Polson, although he locks up, and he's now heading into the gravel at the old hairpin. I think he managed to get through it, and out the other side with a bit of luck, keep the foot in, and yes, he's going to do it. He's going to get out the other side, but a bit of a mishap and he's lost surf. Look at the 26-year-old from Tamworth in the area motorsport run car, and they head down. Oh, and someone going backwards there. That's the number 7, which is Craig Shaw. He has to rejoin right at the back. Really side by side, a little bit further back down the order, but problems there because the number 19 of Andy Roberts is stuck, absolutely beached in the gravel at the Roberts chicane. Nick Chatburn is off as well. That's number 88 at the old hairpin. So a couple of cars have been stranded, and so the red flags come out. Hamlet in the number 98 car. Daniel Webster is there, but Chris Coomer goes off at the first corner. The Cadwell Park race winner tracking his way through the gravel trap. Galia that leads the way then. It looks like Hamlet in second place, and that is the number 7 car of Craig Shaw that he's spun around. Well, in both races he's had a spin on the opening lap, so not a particularly rare race. Away from Mark Higginson, and someone off, and it's Stu Neal, I'm afraid, in his Type R that is in the gravel trap. It's another of the area motorsport prepared cars.